Hey, what's up, y'all? We are here. Deep breaths. PCP, Week 7 against KipUp. Now, if you've been around the channel for a minute, you watch some of the lower quality videos I have sometimes. I've never been able to beat KipUp. He's too good, frankly. He's too good. But I did get some bit of a confidence boost because Pat did already beat him in the season. They had a very, very close match. I think it was like, it ended up being 1-0 in Pat's favor. But if Pat can do it, then god damn it, so can I. So, I built the shit out of this team, like for real. I guess before we go over that, we can go over KipUp's team. Now I know my team's broken. I get that. I know. Okay, that's kind of why I picked it. But his team is just really well balanced, and you'll see. He has Celesteela, right? Mega Manectric, Latios, which is his Z-move user, Infernape, which is his Z-move user. I really wanted Infernape too. I was legitimately pissed off whenever he got Infernape. God damn it. And Primarina, Serena, Kofagriga, Florges, Gardevoir, Ditto, and Hitmonchan. Now, let me just go back over one mon on this team. That's Ditto. That's the one. That's offense's biggest problem in Draft League is always versus the guy that has the Ditto. Or girl. It's 2017. Bitches play Pokemon too. So, yeah, he has Ditto. And, man, I have offense. This is fucked up. I don't want to play against Ditto. God damn it. But luckily, I've drafted Ditto myself. I think the year before last in the PCP. I've gone up against Ditto enough times now, and I think I know how to handle it. So we're gonna try to sweep while the opponent has a Ditto. We'll fucking see how that goes. But first of all, here, as you can see, he doesn't have a good Jolteon answer. His only immunity is Latios. I mean, not Latios. Mega Manectric, the one right above that. What the fuck am I talking about? Whenever he is when he's unmega'd and he has Lightning Rod. That's the only immunity he has. Unless he has Trace on Gardevoir, which I'm assuming it will be. And also obviously Ditto will copy me and do all that. But whenever you prep for people that have Trace and stuff, you bring Quick Feet. That's what I've been doing. I know he's gonna know that I have to bring Quick Feet, so I'm just gonna bring Volt Absorb. Just fuck it. So that way I can have a decent switch in to Manectric, even though I'm only healing 25% and he can pretty much 2-hit KO me with possibly a hidden power. I think he has to bring HPIs because I have a fucking Zygarde, but then again, if he's fearing if he's fearing Quagsire, he could bring HP Grass. See how I couldn't fucking say that with a straight face? Nobody fears Quagsire. It's not coming. I think it's the only Pokemon I haven't brought is Quagsire. Yeah, fuck that guy. I just have it so no one else can have it. Like, you can't wall my offense. But yeah, so this guy's just here to basically be a pivot around. He's my designated lead. He does have either stab or super effective coverage for every single Pokemon on his team. And it's going to be a good time, really. Actually, Serena actually don't hit very well, but we can work around that. It's just a Serena. What are you going to do? So yeah, we have Hidden Power Ground with the Expert Belt because it actually does 2-hit KO Manectric. And I actually had Synchronoise on here. Let me just find where that... You gotta scroll way down to get Synchronoise. Like, it's... Just give me a second. Just fucking patience is a virtue. Synchronoise. 120 base power, 100% accuracy, hits adjacent Pokemon sharing the user's type. So I saw this and I was like, fuck yeah, because he has the Mega Manectric and he has the Ditto. So those would be... If he didn't bring, like, the Latios to take the Volt Switches like nothing, then I think that would be his best switch in, and I can just bop the shit out of it with a Synchronize. But I was running Leftovers back then, so it would have done the same amount, and it was just more heat than Hidden Power Ground. But I ended up putting the Expert Belt on, so Hidden Power Ground actually ended up doing a little bit more. So, oh well. Sacrificing some heat for some actual shit. And versus KipUp, I'm not gonna complain about having slightly less heat on my team. But it's just, other than that, it's standard Jolteon. Shadow Ball for Lottie and whatnot, and then Volt Switch for, you know. Then we got Scarf Hoopa. His team doesn't really have a good switch in. Like, if I get Rocks up and I can, like, get a little bit of chip on everything, this guy straight up cleans up in the end. Now, I do Speed Tie with Gardevoir, which he has been known to run Choiced almost every week, I think. But it's a Speed Tie, so 50-50. I'm not a very lucky guy, but if it comes down to it, we'll play that game. I'll play that game all fucking day. I don't care. Moonblast does do like 100%. Gardevoir is too strong. But I got Destiny Bond just in case, you know, if I know I can't kill him because Dark Pulse only does 50%, I gotta win 2 speed ties and flinch him, so I don't know about all that. But it would really fucking suck if I went for Destiny Bond and lost the speed tie and he just kills me. But I guess either way, if I lose the speed tie, I die anyways, so it wouldn't be too terrible of a play. We got the Thunderbolt just for shit like Celesteela and where else are you? I was gonna say Primarina, but Psyshock probably hits that thing harder anyways. Then, I know, you see the name, I'm a dick, okay? KipUp is in the area that's being affected by the hurricane right now, so I made a hurricane joke in our PCP chat like a couple weeks ago, and I thought it was pretty funny, but, so I saw the meme, and I was like, well, that's what I gotta name my fucking Pidgeot this week. So, Ermagerd with just U-turn, Hurricane, Heatwave, and Roost. I don't have a way to defog hazards or spin them away. I don't have that on Torkoal. Because face it, if you got Torkoal as your designated spinner, you're not fucking spinning. Like, all you gotta do is hit that thing with a special attack and it will die. It's a fucking turtle. Like, nah. Tortoise. Whatever. But we got the Roost just because I know we're gonna be taking rocks damage every time we come in. He actually only has one rock setter as well, and it is Infernape. Which, in this case, I think it has to be choiced. If he brings Choice Scarf, he pretty much outspeeds my entire team. And especially if the sun is up, he can just lock himself into Flare Blitz and go to town, really. He finds whatever town he wants and he just goes there all fucking day. Comes back, drops a postcard, fucks your bitch. It's a bad time. So I'm hoping that we can deal with that because I don't exactly have a switch in. But we got Defensive Sylveon, so if it is Scarf and the fire is not up, if the sun isn't up, then Flare Blitz does not 2-hit KO me. I can wish up, and I think he's the kind of player to make a play on the obvious protect. So I could probably just fire off a Hyper Voice or a Yawn. The deal with the Sylveon is it doesn't deal with Celesteela. So obviously you shouldn't be bringing Pokemon versus a dude with a Celesteela that doesn't that lets it set up for free. I can't be doing that. That's not me. Nah. So we have the Yawn, so that way if he wants to autonomize in our face, that way he will at least fall asleep the next turn. And the best part about that is I can actually set up on the Celesteela as it sleeps with Squishy here, because I only need one Dragon Dance to start doing work to his team, especially if I know that the Infernape isn't Choice Scarf. Or if I can get it to, what was it? I think it's, if I can get it to under 50% before it takes rocks, or like right at 50%. I think Extreme Speed did something like 42 if he was sped crept for my, whatever my next lowest thing is. I guess it'd be the Zygarde. Yeah, so it did like 40 something at +1. So I gotta get some chip on the Infernape, and hopefully this guy can help, because Flare Blitz obviously is gonna be doing mad recoil to him, which will be fucking cool. Stealth Rocks is gonna hurt, and then I can Hyper Voice that guy, and it's a 2-hit KO because Sylveon's pretty strong. It doesn't give a shit about your Pixelate nerf. Like, honestly, Sylveon is still an amazing Pokemon. I don't care what anybody says. The 8 abilities are still fucking cool in my book. So then we have our Lord and Savior this week. So, okay. This set took me so fucking long to build. Let me just go over some shit, right? So, you're seeing Dragon Dance and setup moves and fucking substitutes and shit, and you're like, Shaden, what in tarnation is going on? Because he's a Ditto, so you're just gonna let him take your stats. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. Because I have the Groundium Z. He's gonna outspeed me anyways with the Choice Scarf, and he has to be Choice Scarf. I don't care, like, if he wants to bring some fucking, like, crazy fire stuff and bring not choiced, that's kind of just bad, because then, yeah, then I can just kill him with Hoopa or something. So, he can't, I set up to +1 on a lot of stuff. I got the Yawn to put something to sleep, because I just gotta get to +1, as I mentioned. Now, if Ditto comes in and copies me, the thing with Ditto is it always is at 300 HP, obviously unless it takes damage, but it starts out at 300 HP. The HP stat of Ditto is the only stat that it carries over when it copies a Pokemon. So it takes all the boosts and shit, but you still only have 300 HP. I have 419 HP. I will be taking hits a hell of a lot better than he will. Then I gave myself just enough attack and just enough defense so that 1,000 Arrows is a 4-hit KO on me from a +1 me, basically, with less HP. So basically I set up to +1, he brings in the Ditto. I Dragon Dance again, making it a speed tie. while he fires off and does like 30%. Then he'll be like, oh shit, I gotta get the fuck out of here, and he'll probably sack something. And on that turn, I just fire off 1,000 arrows. It'll work out perfectly if he sacks Manectric to this, so that way when Ditto comes back in, I will still only be at +1, because I have the Groundium Z. Once Ditto is at like 60 to 70%, I can kill it with a Groundium Z at +1. No fucking problem. That's why my spread is all weird. That's why this is all fucking crazy. I promise I put a lot of thought into it, and I think it's going to go just fine. I got sub just because I didn't want to give it a dragon move, obviously, because he can use said move against me. And just E-Speed will help versus stuff like Vacuum Wave and Fernape, which is a very high probability seeing as I have a Kartana. So if he... in another league we were in with KipUp, we brought Hidden Power Fire. You know, you've probably seen the video. We brought Hidden fucking Power Fire Kartana to counter a dude that brought a Ditto. And we didn't bring any fighting moves because... we know he would just be, it's like default set to like, I think it's HP Dragon or some stupid shit like that, that whenever you don't set a hidden power for a Pokemon. So, I knew, there's probably a good chance that he knew that Ditto wasn't going to be the best answer to Kartana, so I think he has to bring some kind of priority even if he's choiced on his Infernape. He's got to have some kind of something, so we'll see. But this Zygarde is hopefully going to do the trick. I know I'm kind of just talking about the Zygarde all goddamn day, but it's a really good Zygarde. This is my boy. He's a good boy. He's a good, strong boy. And, yeah, so that's kind of... if he doesn't bring the Ditto, I'm kind of fucked. But if he doesn't bring the Ditto, then at least I can still set up on on a few different things, depending on what Gardevoir locked itself into, depending on, you know... Also, if he brings like Scarflotti or something that's locked into Psyshock, I eat those for fucking days. So, but that does require me to get 2 Dragon Dances up because he will outspeed me at +1. So, I'm expecting something to be Scarf that'll outspeed this at +1. So something like the Latios or the Infernape. So we'll see. But Extreme Speed is my fucking best friend. So we'll see. Sorry, I got the alcohol bubbles here. Then once again we have Torkoal. Man, I fucking love Torkoal. Like, I've grown quite fond of Torkoal over these past few weeks. I just kind of got it because I needed a fire type. But Torkoal's kind of the shit, man. I like it. It's not the best Pokemon, but it does what it needs to do. So, if you look at my team, you see Specs Primarina, and yeah, we're going to have a bad time. So, I have this guy. So, when I set up the Sun and have the Pasho Berry, which is the Water Resist Berry, I can switch in, take a Moonblast, and then take a Hydro Pump, if he hits, of course. If he doesn't hit, that'd be great. That'd be cool. I would, oof, I don't even know. I didn't have a thing prepared for this. I hope he misses, frankly. But we got the Lava Plume, obviously, just to get burns. We're not fucking missing any more fire attacks. Never running Fire Blast ever again. So we got Lava Plume. I was gonna run Flamethrower, but the burn chance is kind of nice. We got Stealth Cox just for rocks. You know, that's just what you need. Sludge Bomb, so that if he does have that Primarina in against me, I can at least do over 50% to it, depending on its bulk. He could bring 2 different Primarinas versus me. He could bring a bulky one with like the Grass Resist Berry and like any special move. He could have HP Poison and kill my Kartana. So any special move will do the job. But if I'm like not heavy, if I'm not like boosting item, then at +1, I think a max defense Primarina lives the Leaf Blade. But if he's offensive, he will live 1 with the Grass Berry at... I can't remember the Grass Berry. What the fuck is that called? Kebia? I think it's Kebia. I don't know. But, yeah, so I can 2-hit KO him with the Sludge Bomb, although I assume he'll take me out unless he misses, but... I can also get up rocks if it's versus anything else, really. Max Spadef on the Torkoal does help out a lot. That means Manectric cannot 2-hit KO me. Lottie's Draco doesn't kill me. Primarina's Hydro is taken care of. +2 Shadow Ball does do a fuckload, but I think I barely live that shit. But if he brings Kofag, I expect it to be Trick Room, and this guy outslows him in Trick Room thanks to being a fucking turtle and shit. And then Hitmonchan, I don't really see coming. I have a lot of answers for Hitmonchan. Well, not even a lot. I just have decent answers to it, and it doesn't really do a lot of damage. And its low defense makes it to where it doesn't really. It's never gonna get off an Ice Punch versus Zygarde, because if I get to +1 or start coiling, it's a Hitmonchan. You know how those go. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the team builder. Sorry, it's been fucking 15 minutes, but we'll go ahead and jump right on into the game. So I'm on the other side. That's not how this is going to go. We're going to switch sides. And I lead off with Jolteon. I discussed this. He's my guaranteed lead, designated lead. And he's just basically going to click some move depending on what I think he's going to go into. So, looking at my team, I see that the Manectric is very, very, very good versus me. It outspeeds fucking everything, and it can Thunderbolt and 2-hit KO most of my team. Since I'm physically defensive on Sylveon, I think I eat 2, but the third one's killing me, and I don't have Protect, so that's going to be a bitch. But if he specs, he has to kind of predict here, because I would probably go into something to deal with this, like, well, I guess the Sylveon is probably the most likely, but that's a really defensive play for me to make. And with offensive team, I don't know if that's what he'd predict. He's a good player. I know he's going to make the right plays. So I think, if anything, he would probably just go hard into either his Lightning Rod Mon, his Mon that will get my Volt Absorb, or his other Mon that will get my Volt Absorb and block that. So he has 3 viable switches into this thing, so I just fire off a Shadow Ball predicting the Gardevoir to be, because it seems like it's going to be the most, the least useful of the 3. But he does not do that. He stays in and fires off offensive, but not specs Moonblast. So that's all fine and dandy. I do have a little bit of bulk on Scoot here, so I'm not necessarily tripping about that. But if he looks at my set, he'll know for sure that I'm not specs. But something like Scarf Jolteon isn't necessarily beyond reason, and I didn't really know what he'd do, because again, it's a fucking 33, 33, 33 here, because he just has too many switches to this thing. So basically, I just decide, fuck it, if he wants to bring something else in, I should outspeed it, hopefully, or be able to eat a hit from the special side, because I do have decent Spit F. So I just decided to go for the Volt Switch, I believe. Yeah. Volt Switch, it kills, I'm Expert Belt, it does a titty dick load to that poor little Primarina, and I can just bring in Scarfoopa. So, how fast he brought in this, we find out later it's Banded, but he brings in this Infernape, and I'm like, yep, well, that's fucking Choice Scarf, what else would he do? But it turns out, KipUp is just a masturbator, and he just baits the shit out of me right here. So, I kind of want to see what his switch into this would be, because this is a great wall breaker versus him. I can click Psyshock and just obliterate something. His only switch in is going to be the Gardevoir or his own this thing, which is 2-hit KO'd by the Dark Pulse after Rocks. So, he has some options, and I'm not fucking around with it. You can bait me, bro. I'm out. I'm not fucking around. He goes for the U-turn. I didn't calc this, but that's a lot of damage. Basically 12% from a U-turn. Probably should have let me know it was Banded. I didn't really think about it at the time. I was too busy worried about how I was going to set up with this Zygarde, frankly. The entire time, I'm just waiting. Just waiting. This Serena actually walls the tits off my Zygarde, because he can just sit there and Trop Kick or whatever it is he does. He might even have something like HP Ice just for random wacky damage, but I can't sweep until this guy's gone. So he U-turns out, knowing he needs to preserve this. He gets up out of there and goes into his Ditto, probably eats a Hyper Voice and Wish Up, but I just go for the Yawn. I don't want any shenanigans. No, sir. So then he's Scarf, of course, so he'll Baton Pass out before I will. I will get the Switch Initiative and go right into Ermagerd. God damn it. And I'm going to overpredict here, because I'm thinking if I just Hurricane this, then he gets Manectric in, and Manectric just gets to come in and basically freely click Volt Switch. And Scoot is at a low enough point to where that 2 Flamethrowers will take it out, and I can't kill him because he's at like full health. So, yeah, not doing that yet. He turns out, and I know he's going to go into... okay, well, I switched it in, so I didn't know yet. But I know he's going to Volt Switch here, and I can live 2 Volt Switches. Except he crits me, and that's not what happens. But I know he's going to go into the Ditto, so there's not much of a point in me going for the Lava Plume. So I'll go for the Sludge Bomb. Honestly, like for realsies, let me be real with you guys, I was hoping for Poison. I needed him to be as close to 60% as possible whenever he brought it in, and I haven't got up Rocks yet, so that's going to be a problem. But it does take 12% from Rocks, even if it switches into my Zygarde, which is fucking cool, because you see it's at 77%. 12% from Rocks will take you down to 65. That is just about the roll that I need. So he gets up his Rocks, and he's Scarf, of course, so I get up my Rocks, and now something has to take a hit from Sun Boosted Torkoal. I can go for another Sludge Bomb, but hey, fuck it, I just need some chip on everything. Also, the closer I can get this guy to 50%, then I can take it out with the whatcha-jigger, the Zygarde. So he just Flare Blitzes me. The way he clicked the Flare Blitz there, it kind of made me think he was Scarf again. Like he had already basically revealed to be banded if I had calced, but I didn't. So he told me after the game, obviously. But I can go into the Zygarde here, and even if he is Scarf, he will outspeed me. That's not going to do shit to Zygarde. I know, I don't know, but I'm positive he's Choice in some way or another. That's just my manly intuition feelings here. So he still has a Serena. That thing can set up, or not set up, it walls me. We discussed this. So I actually make the double here and go out into my burb, you know, just a good old-fashioned bird. I was honestly really fucking scared to make that double. This does give me great offensive pressure. Now, his only resist to Hurricane is the Manectric, which will come in, take rocks, take a Hurricane, then it can outspeed me, but I have Jolteon to sack. So I can overpredict again and go for the U-turn, but this time, nah, fuck it. I have a Jolteon to sack. I can kind of see my way to set up here, so I just kind of got to sack. I can just switch on out, save this, because it's Hurricane, you know, it does its thing. I can sack the Scoot, but he does go for the Thunderbolt and gives me the Volt Absorb. So I'm looking at this, Flamethrower doesn't kill me, and I thought I would get off a HP Ground on him here, but he actually goes for the Overheat. Now, if you know about Zygarde, if your stats are dropped, he's gonna set up on you. Like, it's super fucked up. Like, that's... Pokemon as bulky as Zygarde, like, you can't be lowering your stats versus him. Like, you just can't. Because now, HP Ice does, like, 25 to 30% to me, and I get my +1 that I need. So, he doesn't go for it, he just goes right out into Infernape, just because he knows I'm going to D-Dance, and he thinks, or not thinks, he wants to go for his priority move. But he's now taken more recoil from the rocks, and he's at 38%. Extreme Speed kills 100% of the time, he can't do anything to me. Now, it's fucking time. It's motherfucking time. So, Ditto comes in, I've prepped for this. I've made my set specifically for this moment. I D-Dance again, right? So, he sees how much damage he did, and I think he's like, oh shit. So he actually has to sack the Manectric, which works perfectly, because not only do I kill this and stop the Intimidate from happening again, but when Ditto comes back in, he's still only at +1, so he's still only doing 33% or whatever it was to me with 1,000 arrows. Now, I can't kill him either, but I have the Z move. I calced it, I have a decent chance to kill Gardevoir afterwards, so I can just fire off my Tectonic Rage, kill the fuck out of that bitch-ass wannabe Zygarde. He's squishy, and I can just fire off 1,000 arrows. He was Scarf Gardevoir, so that was, if he had any bulk whatsoever, which he shouldn't have, because he has to speeding tie with Hoopa, then yeah, it was like a little bit more than 50% with no bulk, but I do get the roll. Either way, I cleaned up with really whatever I feel like. Yeah, Sylveon could just come in and eat one. Yeah, so that was great. Fucking good game, KipUp. We finally got him, guys, and it was a great game. I love when a plan works good. I know English is hard sometimes, but yeah, that was a really good game. I was really proud of the way the team did its stuff, and yeah, you know, it's just positiveness from now on out. So that was our hardest game we've had so far, in my opinion. I'm glad that's out of the way. So 4 more weeks left. We're gonna keep trying to be undefeated. Zygarde, I think, should be the kill leader, but I think we're still behind Pat on differential. But hey, I'm comfortably sitting in second right now. I still get a bye week. I don't give a fuck. Check out KipUp's channel. I'll leave the link below and whatnot. And stay tuned for the recap. It's gonna be late as fuck because obviously hurricanes and shit. But hey, it's coming. Bye forever.